Homelessness and addiction are issues affecting many people in the UK right now. According to the Department for Communities and Local Government, over 80,000 people in Britain are estimated to be homeless, with 10,000 in Wales alone. Particularly, the recession and cutbacks have had a profound effect on this rising statistic. For those living in such circumstances, the city centre can be a lonely environment, where they are shut out by everyone and everywhere. Edengate, based in Newport, formerly the Teen Challenge, is a charity devoted to helping people in the depths of poverty, homelessness and addiction. The staff behind Teen Challenge and Edengate have been working for 20 years now, and just last year helped over 100 people alone. I spoke to Caroline Johnson, the owner of Teen Challenge and Edengate, to find out more about what the charity does.
Teen Challenge has been in Newport City since 1990, and it was originally started by a minister who came into Newport and wanted to work with people with drug controlling problems. From that, it was very much later the night shelter started in 2009. And basically, because of the guys on the streets, we were looking at what issues they had and what they needed. They needed a cold winter night shelter, which we didn't have. We had hostels, but it wasn't direct access. So we decided in the beginning of 2009 that we would start Newport Night Shelter. And we did lots and lots of work before that, obviously, working on the streets with the guys, working on the bus with the guys, taking lots of guys down to rehab for interviews and then to go into the programme. We've been into prison, so there's lots of things we've done before we got to Night Shelter, but Night Shelter was sort of a big issue at the time, and the guys needed somewhere in the cold winter to sleep. The issue with Teen Challenge was it was national, and so we struggled to get money because obviously we weren't national, we were local, and locally people struggled because we were national, so it was a difficult situation to be in. So that's why locally we sort of got to where we are. So it's a new thing, and we're hoping locally that lots of people, individuals, churches, trusts will support and help us in what we're doing.
The charity regularly organises sessions where people out on the streets of Newport or recovering from addiction can take shelter and seek support. Many of the volunteers have at one point in their life been homeless or addicted to drugs or alcohol and been helped by Teen Challenge.
I was a crack cocaine addict for 13 years, and from graduating the programme, God had kind of impacted my life and changed my life really, and I felt that God had really given me a heart to do outreach and get involved and share my experiences and share my faith with people that were trapped in a similar lifestyle as myself.
I spoke to just some of the people that the charity has worked with, Jordan Pierce and Gareth Lortham, to find out more about their situation before they came to the charity.
Basically, that's when I first started to go downhill. When I was about 21, I started just getting out of control really. So smoking. I started off smoking cigarettes, then basically I started having a problem. Then when I started getting into harder things. You need to know exactly what, or yeah?
If you don't mind.
Yeah, and it went into harder things like amphetamines, and then went into got tired of that really, and then had a really heavy heroin background, and I've had it now for 10 years.
The fifth time I went there, I thought I'd better tell him I'm an addict. But the funny thing is, everything about me looked like an addict. I just looked, I looked a mess. And he said, yeah, well, we know that. But they didn't want to know about my addiction, they just wanted to know about me. And from there, I just knew there's something about these guys. They really cared for me. Because everybody else who tried to be kind to me or nice to me, they always wanted something. But these guys didn't. They really just genuine about me and my life. And that's why I come to know the charity. And from there then, they got me into Teen Challenge rehab. And that is what changed my life.
Within 2-3 weeks, they put me into a rehab in Swansea. Lasted 10 days. It didn't really work for me the first time, but it never does for most people. Basically, then I left the rehab and came back to Newport, and then basically she sort of wanted to work with me and my partner and as family as a whole. So we've been working all together for 10 years. But if it weren't for Caroline, I would have been lost a long time ago. I don't think I'd have my children. I wouldn't have anything.
Just an example of the change in me. My mum and dad come to visit me about a month into the programme, and they brought my daughter, and they walked straight past me in the corridor, this far from me. They walked past me to call my mum back, and she said, "Oh, I was just saying that boy looks a bit like our Gareth." She didn't recognise my face. That's how much I changed in a month. My countenance had changed. The look in my eyes had changed. That dead look had gone. There was life back in my face. Where my face was always drooping down, I was smiling and there was a radiance about me. She didn't recognise me. And yeah, my life, everything I do in my life's completely changed.
I made it. I stopped using heroin, and I'm just on like a prescription now, a methadone prescription. So, but if it weren't for that again, I would have been, in a pickle years ago.
At the moment, I'm training to be a pastor in the Presbyterian Church of Wales. It's great. I'm getting paid by a church to work for them. That is just complete turnaround. Where before I've been begging, stealing, selling drugs. I've worked as a support worker, I've worked as a peer mentor. And it's all about giving into other people's lives and help other people, encourage them, help them come out of addiction, maybe be that walk hand in hand with them along the journey. But before, that wouldn't have been me. My thing was, what can I get out here, what can I take off here to feed my addiction?
Working alongside Ian Gate are the group Newport Night Shelter, who offer overnight shelter to people out on the streets along with food and support. While the group does its best to accommodate these people, the reality is most people out on the streets become too accustomed to living in these conditions. I was invited to go with one of the volunteers out onto the streets. We met up with Paul Williams, who is currently living homeless.
So how many people are usually sitting around here?
Well, at the moment it's just the two of us, or three of us.
Yeah.
But I know there will be more.
How have you ended up homeless, if you don't mind me asking? How long have you been, in total? On and off?
On and off, it will be 3 months now.
3 months. And where are you originally from?
Swansea originally.
So 3 months ago you were in Swansea?
No, 3 months ago I was in Pontypool. But I'm originally from Swansea, moved up to Newport, moved up to Pontypool, broke up with a girlfriend.
So relationship
breakdown. It just seemed like I've spoke to a lot of the boys that's on the street.
Are you using any drugs or alcohol?
No, I don't drink, don't take drugs, smoke.
So it's literally just your accommodation? So it's just depression because of your circumstances?
Yeah. Because I went through a very difficult divorce.
How long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But of course missing the kids and everything else.
Yeah.
She's letting me see them 1 minute, then I'm not, then I can, then I...
Yeah.
So I'm in and out of their life and it's ruining me just as much as it is them.
Yeah, where are they?
They don't in Swansea.
So do you go back much? Or?
When I see them, I could go 2 or 3 times a week if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But if I choose to, I can have them once a week, but have them for 6 hours a day.
Yeah.
So it's easier rather than find...
So do you try and see them regularly?
I try and be as regular as I can.
Yeah. It must be difficult though with the situation you're in.
Yeah, it is.
The charities volunteers dedicate their lives to helping as many people in Newport as they can. And just last year they helped over 100 people. However, they have struggled to get the vital funding and support they need. They not only wish to promote what the charity does, but also to highlight the reality of the conditions these people are currently living in.
There's well over 100, 200 of us that's homeless in Newport, maybe more, I don't know, but I know most of them. And most of them come here, they have coffee, they sit down, they have a chat, they come for the food bank, if they got tickets, and like I said, it's like, if it weren't for this place, I reckon most people would be really struggling,
It's strange because I was sat with a young lady today who I've worked with for 10 years, and she was talking about how they need a voice. And, I've never been a drug addict or an alcoholic. I love working with them. I love being part of what, their culture and their community. But, I think the people that are in it know what it's like, and especially if it's changed, if they've changed because of rehab or whatever has changed them, I think that they need a voice.
A lot of it's hidden, like most people don't know about the food bank, don't know about what's here really. So I've spoken to people about, asked them if they know Team Challenge Eden Gate, and not many people do.
It's difficult in the streets of Newport. People think it's easy, but it's not. It's a hard life in the streets of Newport.
Edengate does all it can to help people taking shelter on the streets of Newport, but it's an uphill battle with more and more people ending up homeless in Newport and other cities in the UK. Tonight, many of these people will be out on the street in every other town and city, clinging on to every bit of remaining light and hope.